Terrence Howard is an actor saying dumb actor things when people aren't putting words in his mouth. Oh, surprise! Turns out he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't have a real thought. Oh, no shit. This is a guy who fucking becomes other people for a living. Of course he has no space for personality. His own. just fucking come on, man.
By now you have probably seen or heard clips from the Terrence Howard interview on Joe Rogan podcast, and he's saying things that interested you, intrigued you, confused you, maybe even. I'm an astrophysicist, and perhaps
so he's an astrophysicist. Okay, this is a guy who went to school. He has an education to talk about the stuff that Terrence Howard was talking about. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
We can get to the bottom of some of these ideas. Preface that it was a super long podcast. I watched the whole thing because I'm not one to just jump out and start talking out of my ass about anything.
I feel attacked.
Exactly.
I feel personally attacked by that statement. All right. Well, good start. Good start to this video, Rudy.
Exactly what I'm talking about, not take anything out of context. Only going to talk about the things that are directly related to my specialty, physics and
right, because he talked about a bunch of other shit. All right.
Okay.
Just a heads up.
Okay.
Physics. Last thing, I took out some of the fluff in the clips and arranged them in a way that I thought made more sense. Don't want it to seem like I'm taking what he's saying out of context. To the best of my ability, the context is intact.
Walter Russell talked about the fact that the sun gave birth to the earth, that it didn't coalesce from some field.
Here he's talking about planet formation, the way that planets form. And while we don't have the process down to a T, all of the different planet formation models basically start with a star that is contracting in the center, and it has this debris disk, this accretion disk. And in that accretion disk, planets form. So you can see these are all actual images that have been taken.
And this is the reason why people believe Terrence Howard, because
put on Terrence Howard. Why are we watching this dude? Who is this guy? But I want to hear what Terrence Howard's got to say. I don't care about this fucking astrophysicist trying to school me on how the planets were formed. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care how the planets were formed. How does that affect me today? I don't know. Let Terrence Howard distill it for me. Let Terrence Howard tell me why.
All right. Let him talk. Let him talk. Fine.
You. Would take the Earth to go from the sun to 93 million miles away. It would take 9,820,800 million years for the Earth to get here.
So what he's saying here is that instead of planets forming in those accretion disks, like we just saw, that in fact they're coming from the star itself. They're coming from the sun. His evidence is the fact that the Earth is moving away at about half an inch.
So he's just distilling everything that he's saying, and then it's just patently wrong or whatever the case may be. But here's another video.
How is it wrong? I didn't hear him say it was wrong. Is that because I cut him off before he got there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you cut the physicist stuff. Yeah,
that's not what we're here for. I'm not here for a fucking lecture, dude. Nah, I'm good, bro. Make the shit funny or move the fuck on. You ain't got nothing. What are you doing? Who's watching this? Are people watching that? People watching this video? How many?
Yeah, because people were like listening to Terrence Howard and they're like, oh, this dude's really smart. He knows what he's talking about. He has no idea what he's talking about.
But I'm willing to bet that was readily apparent if I could just listen to fucking Terrence Howard. I don't need this guy to come here and try to make me feel stupid for not knowing astrophysiology or whatever the fuck. I don't need that. I don't need that kind of energy in my life. I know Terrence Howard is an idiot because Terrence Howard is an actor. So I'm not, I'm good on that. Let me hear Terrence. Let me laugh at Terrence. Let me move the fuck on. Who else you got? What else you got?
And when you say rebuild the periodic table, what do you mean specifically?
This will not go well.
It looks like a straight box.
So he's talking about how
that hydrogen has the same tone as carbon.
Each kind of element has its own frequency. And there's another nerd talking about how that's not true. So
there's another nerd. Thank you, dog. That's how you position this. Let's listen to some nerds try to tell us a cool guy's wrong. Yeah, that's it. Cool ass Terrence fucking Howard. Let's listen to some nerds try to pick his fucking theories and theses apart. Then I could get down with that.
Well, this went totally wrong. This whole bit I was trying to do, it just went downhill real fast.
Bro. I didn't play.
Look, there's one more. Okay. There's one more.
You better have a fucking point to this, bro. You better have an end cap on this. That's hilarious.
And we rebuilt the planet Saturn without gravity.
If what Terrence Howard has said on the Joe Rogan podcast happens to be true, then we have to rethink everything when it comes to the science of the universe that we live in.
That's why I went on that at the Emmys, and I was like, "Look, I've got something else to do."
Was that a good bit for you? Was that a good bit? He was able.
I don't need a
He was
physicist
able-
to come up to next and be like, "Well, to be honest, gravity on Saturn does actually exist." No shit, gravity exists. I know those things, man. Like, I don't need you to like, fucking particulation of matter means that. Like, I don't give a fuck, dude. That's why I didn't get into that fucking field.
So Terrence Howard.
Yeah, Terrence Howard is an actor saying dumb actor things when people aren't putting words in his mouth. Oh, surprise! Turns out he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't have a real thought. Oh, no shit! This is a guy who fucking becomes other people for a living. Of course, he has no space for personality. His own. Just fucking come on, man.